So EMEC is a test facility for wave and tidal energy devices. So that's enabling people who have built a device to come and test it in real-world conditions. And more recently, EMEC's also moved into energy systems through hydrogen as a form of energy storage and as a fuel. And as we get a larger proportion of renewable energy into our energy system, that's like the fuel we use, the heating we have, our electricity, we're going to need these kind of energy storage and energy system services in order to make it work on renewable energy. So I grew up in a town called Carnoustie near Dundee, and I studied chemical engineering at Edinburgh. And when I graduated from there, I took a bit of time out and then applied for the ID Core program, which is the Industrial Doctorate Centre for Offshore Renewable Energy, which I was accepted for. So it's a 4-year program. You do a master's in Edinburgh, and then you go into a company for 3 years. And the work you do there, you write a thesis, which is a big document, and if it's all successful, you get an engineering doctorate qualification at the end. So it's kind of like an industrial PhD. So my industrial sponsor is EMEC, and I'm looking at their hydrogen. And so the work I do there, I'll write a thesis on, and if everything's successful, get an engineering doctorate qualification at the end. So my job is to answer a research question. So that research question is, can you set up a hydrogen economy, so buying and selling of hydrogen, in an area with a large renewable resource, so lots of winds and tides, and a constrained grid? That's the academic question, and the industrial question is, how much hydrogen can EMEC produce and at what cost? And how much can it sell and at what price? It's a really tricky dynamic between different generations. And certainly, fossil fuels have brought hundreds of millions, if not billions of people out of poverty. But we now know that there's a real risk that they're going to increase floods and famine and droughts and severe weather like extreme weather and storms. And so if we want to avoid those things, now is our last chance to stop emitting CO2 like we're currently doing and greenhouse gases like we're currently doing, and renewable energy generation is a great way to do that. So if we're gonna get to a place of a world where it's easy to live on, relatively speaking, as it has been, then we are going to need people to come and solve these energy problems. So one of the things is, climate change is one of the big challenges facing all of us, 7.7 billion people now, and we're part of solving that problem. In terms of my personal experience, I've been able to go to Spain for conferences. I'm heading to Japan later on as well. And being able to see developers come here from countries around Europe and around the world is really exciting as well. So being part of that kind of big movement is exciting.